Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of CJ Discovery. This week has been one of those weeks. He has been really sick for several days this week. I don't feel really good. My husband doesn't feel very good. He actually stayed home from work one day. So, it's one of those days where we really don't feel like doing very much, and we have a lot to get done today. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do this with gusto and excitement, and I don't have a lot of hope for that. Anyway, we got this kit. It's called Inventions. It is by Science Whiz. I will say right away that I like that these kits, they actually make several kits. When you open them up like this in the store, you can see all that it includes, and you can see all the instructions, and it tells you what you're going to need in the instructions so that you don't get home and have any surprises with what you're going to need. Most of what this kit wants is common household items like tape, glue, scissors. There's a couple items like a toilet paper roll and a paper towel roll that you'd have to save if you wanted to do one of the projects. The only thing from outside your house that you really might not have is a D battery. You need a D battery for a couple of projects. There are supposedly 5 projects in here. We're going to probably do about 2 of them today, and maybe 3 if we have time. We'll have to see. Yeah, so we're going to get started. You excited?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Come out. No. Huh, we have a switch here.
Here we go. This is the inside of the kit. Like you said, you could see it through the window. It's got a clear plastic cover on it, which is good because if you had opened it the wrong way, I guess it wouldn't have all fallen on the floor.
So.
And the instruction book is right on the cover. Oh, that lifts right up. That's how you do it. I'm destroying the world. Oh, it's got tape. Clearly, this is the most efficient way to do this.
Okay, now I got
Look, a broken box.
Now I have the. Wait. There. We did it.
We did it. Okay, so it says there's 5 projects. There is a light flashing generator, a spinning motor, a clicking telegraph, and a radio. I think we're going to try to start with the spinning motor, we hope. This is a great instruction book because for any kid that's interested in this sort of stuff, not only does it explain how to do it, but it explains why it works. There's just a lot of information, and I don't know how well it comes across on camera. It's sturdy. It's not one of those cheap little paper manuals. It is very well made, so it's almost like a book that the kid could keep and read and enjoy. So, here we go. All right, Josh, what are we doing?
We're getting the stuff for a motor. We need battery bands, 2 jumbo-sized paper clips.
They were in this little bag that has a bunch of other stuff in it.
24 gauge magnet wire.
Gauge.
And
magnet. They have it wrapped and labeled. There's a second kind that says it's for the telegraph one, and then that this is for the motor. So it looks like it's also got the connecting wires attached to it.
Dowel or marker.
It came with this, I wasn't sure, it came with this little dowel that you can use.
Packing foam.
That came with the kit too.
Sandpaper.
I thought that the kit would have the sandpaper. I don't know if I just missed it, but it doesn't seem to be in there, so I went and got a piece of our sandpaper to use. And ceramic magnet, and you need the D-cell battery, so we're going to take that out. Alright, our first step seems to be that we have to build a coil, and that will be the most important part. So the first thing that they're going to have you do is use this dowel, and you're going to wrap the wire around it, so we got to get that undone. Alright, so we got our wire here, and you're going to wrap it around. It says to make sure you leave at least 2 to 5 inches on the end. Josh is wrapping the wire around this dowel so that we can make a coil out of it, and that's going to be the center part of our motor that spins. Alright, he's got this cool, look at this, this is cool. He's got this cool coil done here we made with this wire. And actually what you're going to need to do is bring it all together like a slinky. I'm going to use my finger to push that all together. It should come together neatly because of the way you wrapped it around the dowel. And it has us, you take this, and you'll have these two wires hanging off, and we're supposed to wrap these around, yeah, wind these around it. Looks like you gotta wrap this wire around here, and they say to make sure it's centered, so they need to be both ending in the exact same place on the coil here. We have made our little coil here, which I hope is done correctly. I think I've followed the instructions okay. Perhaps this should have been wrapped one or two more times, but there we go. Next step says we have to take these little paper clips, which you probably cannot see. We have to take these paper clips and unfold them. It actually just means to take the big part and pull it straight up. You're going to do that, right?
Yeah. Ta-da! Even though you can see it.
While he's doing that, you have to sand this. You actually are going to take the red part off the top here. And that's what the instructions say anyway. And they want it to make sure it's really clean. Just the top side. The bottom side should not be sanded. So you want to try to do this. Well, after you do the sanding and all that, it goes on to this where it says, now you're going to assemble it like this. It's not really a step-by-step guide to it, but it's very clearly pictured. So we're going to try to do that. This is our picture here that we are going to try to recreate. Okay, so I've got the wire sanded here. You have to get all of the red stuff off. I have to say that was kind of a pain, but hopefully you have all that is needed off of it. It was helpful just to lay it down on the floor and scrape it that way. We are going to try to build this now. Unfortunately, while we were working on this, our magnet got dropped by somebody who will remain nameless, and it was broke, but it's a ceramic magnet, so that's not real surprising. I tried to warn him to begin with that it's ceramic, so it would break if you drop it. But unfortunately now our magnet is no longer a solid piece. So hopefully that won't cause any problem. It is still magnetized. We're going to try it here. It's not spinning. It's wanting to go. Something, I don't know if I've just missed something.
I'm actually getting it. Yay!
Alright, we finally got that one done. We finally got it to spin. It took a lot of little maneuvering. I had to re-sand some parts, and the instructions suggested that if you were having trouble, our magnet kept sucking to the paper clip. So the instructions suggested that if you have that problem, you can use the other rubber band to hold it together. That helped a lot for us. It took us a long time, and we never got it to just spin on its own. He had to start it and push it, and then once it would push it, then it would start going. I really think that was probably our error on sanding and stuff, possibly even that the magnet was partly broke. That was causing the problem, I'm not sure, but we did finally get it spinning and make a motor. The instructions tell you all about what a motor does and all that stuff. There's also, you can build a generator. We are going to move on to the telegraph and let the rest of the kit be up to you to discover. This one uses the battery, the sandpaper, you need the other set of wire. There's 2 more paper clips provided, you need those. These little clips, there's a long metal nail that comes with it. The other piece of foam, it does come with another piece of foam. We're actually just going to use the same one so that he can have the other one to play with later to do the kit on his own. And one of the rubber bands. Just like the last step, just like the last thing, the motor, this one you have to start by undoing this wire. They give you a whole nother one to do with the telegraph, which I like, which means you don't have to take the wire off the other one to do this project and have no wire left over, and I just look like a scarecrow. Okay. So you're supposed to take this, and he is supposed to wrap this all the way around here. You want to go about that? You have to leave, yes. It says leave about 8 or 10 inches at the end. The picture looks like we are going to wrap it pretty closely and tightly, and so he's going to do that, and I'll be back in a moment. He's got this all wound up nice and tightly. He's left some at the end. The next step is we have to sand off some of this, and then he's going to put it down into the foam. So we're going to do that. Unlike the other one, it looks like we don't have to sand just one side. It looks like we just have to sand the whole thing. So hopefully it'll be a lot easier. We're going to try to get through that now. We got this wire sanded, so I'm going to hand it to him, and he's going to go ahead and stick it into the base. And I am going to go ahead and put this rubber band on the battery. We found out that this part, actually connecting the wires to the battery, seemed to work best with teamwork. I lift it up and he sticks the wire in. You got it on there?
Is it good?
Yep. Okay, so now we need to connect one end here to each top and bottom of this. See? So this part is together. This part is supposed to be just an electromagnet. Let's see if it, yep. Look at that. That made a magnet. So that made our normal nail.
A magnet.
Gonna stick this one to it?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, we did this one at school once, and we put in a bunch of coil, and then we put it in a bucket of paper clips.
And it picked up all the paper clips?
Most of them.
Yeah. So that's what that is an electromagnet here that we've made. So that is the first part of our telegraph. We're going to go ahead and tell you to disconnect the battery while you're working on the next step because it is sucking juice from it. So we want to make sure that we stop and go ahead and disconnect it while we're doing the next steps. The next steps are just dealing with these paper clips. The first one, you just pull this out. Let's see. First one, you're just going to pull this out and pull it up. This is going to be the part that actually hits the top of your telegraph and makes the little clicky sound. The other part deals with hooking it to, they give you a piece of cardboard, which I discovered while I was looking around for things to hook it to. You can make your own piece, I guess, but they give you this nice little piece. We are going to attach this to here with these little clips the way the instructions say. So we're going to try to do that and see what happens here. Yep, it gives you these little clips to do it with. We've kind of skipped ahead a little bit. We kind of got into a time constraint where there's other things that have to be done, and so we went ahead and put this telegraph together. It actually wasn't that hard, and it took just a little bit of finagling to get it to get together properly and wiggling, and that's just what you got to do. You've got to make sure everything's connected, and the instructions even tell you that if it's too close, it'll just stick. If it's too far away, it's not going to hit it, so it's not going to make a noise. So we're going to show it to you, and then we're going to close out the video from there. So this is the telegraph machine. If you listen really closely, we can hear the click, click, click. Let's see. Here it goes. So that's actually how people would communicate before we had things like email and stuff. They would send messages and code it that way, and it was called Morse code. And so they would tap. A short one meant one thing and a long one meant another, and different combinations would spell out different letters, and then you would have to use all the letters to make it. It was almost like doing cryptography. It tells you in the book how to do Morse code, and the dashes are longs and the dots are shorts, and so you could try to make your own message that way. These are just 2 of the 5 things in here. We liked the kit. I think I paid $14.99 for it at Michael's. It was on sale. I would say that to really enjoy it, a kid would have to enjoy doing things like electric and stuff. I'm really a big fan of this instruction booklet about all the information it gives. If you have a kid that likes learning and likes doing this type of stuff, this is a lot of information. They are very basic things, however, for electric, so if the kid is very advanced in it, it might seem kind of, you know, beneath them. But for a kid who's just beginning, it's a lot of fun. Did you like doing this kit?
Yes, I did. Even though I liked it. I mean, I already known it.
You already knew some of it? Yeah, he's done some of it in school because he did some of it in school last year. The kit says it's for ages 8 to 80, so it's just a matter of whether or not they know it. But like I said, he did do some of this last year. His dad also works with electric stuff, so He actually did it in 3 different ways last year, in Boy Scouts, in school, and with his dad. So he already kind of knew some of it. I think it's neat. I think making the electric magnet's a lot of fun. I would be careful with the ceramic magnet since somebody threw it on the ground. So we're going to give this kit, how many thumbs? 2 thumbs? 1 thumb? How thumbs? Do we like the kit? You can give it 1 thumb up. I give it 1 thumb up too. They have several different ones, so we might try a few other ones by this thing in the future. Thank you for joining us on this episode of CJ Discovery. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And please click subscribe if you want to see more. We try to do these every Saturday. We have a lot of fun doing them and working together and being all... Aww. Bye!
Bye!
Go forth and discover. Is this Jeopardy?
Yes.
I bet all my money. We have made our litter like cats.